What up, guys? It's my infamous Green Common for welcome back. Alright, I'm gonna give my own personal perspective on, like, the whole, like, LA ice raid and the whole immigration issue that's going on right now. Ever since, like, the election, like, the presidential election, ever since, like, the election and the results came out, we saw that, like, the majority of the Latinos, specifically the Cubans, were the ones that voted for Trump the most. And ever since then, the black community has been, like, doing their absolute hardest to stay the heck away from protests or from anything, like, political right now, at least, or anything like that. And for the past couple weeks or so, like, you've been seeing, like, TikTok after TikTok about, like, how, like, black people should, like, be out there protesting with the Latinos right now. And the black community is both firm on the whole, like, we're not protesting anything. And here's the question. Is black and brown unity even a thing? Is it even possible, though? Make sure to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on the links to everything is down below. And guys, if you want to get my content before, like, it ever hits YouTube, over to my Patreon page right now.
Man, the black people who are saying, like, this isn't our fight, stay home, are really something else. Like, the only reason why Trump can't come for us is because we are literally property of America. We were bought and brought here. But trust me, we aren't treated any better, bro. Our families are just broken in different ways. Like, please, wake up. Please, wake up. Wake up.
Which black people are you talking about that you say should stand with their brown brothers and sisters? Is it the black people that your daddies and your mommies tell you not to bring home? Is it those black people? Or is it the black Latinos and Hispanic people that y'all discriminate against and pretend like don't exist? Are those the black people that you're referring to? Whenever non-black Latinos make comments about how black people need to stick with their Latino brothers and sisters, it is a clear indicator of their anti-blackness. Because wait for it, there are black Latinos. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Raise your hands, come on! Raise your hands!
We all know her. She is on fire right now. She is trending bigly. But wait a minute. Wait. Watch.
Janet Correa screams injustice after her husband was placed on an expedited deportation order after showing up to his immigration check-in in Miami.
That is the same lady who sings the Donald Trump song. Her name is Janet Correa. She is a Cuban in Florida, and her husband is being deported. Honestly, this brings me joy. For years, especially in Florida, a large portion of the Cuban community has been reliably voting Republican, and more recently full-blown MAGA. I think Florida Cubans are some of the most problematic Latinos in terms of voting. They rallied behind Trump as he screamed about mass deportation, somehow thinking it wouldn't apply to them. Surprise. And I'm so glad that they voted themselves out of our country. Trump campaigned on mass deportation, and these MAGA Cubans voted for mass deportation, and now they're getting deported. They got what they voted for, and I love that for them. A lot of Cubans, possibly seeking legal status like naturalization in the US, have now eliminated themselves from the voting rolls. And I say good, because I'm tired of them sabotaging our elections. Now again, I do not wish this on the Cubans who don't support Trump, but statistically, most of them do.
Protest with the immigrants, cuz.
What?
We need to go downtown and protest with the essays.
Go down there and protest.
Yeah, you know, black and brown love. We are allies, blood.
Let me think about that.
Right.
Man, LA, dog, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. LA's racist.
But at the time, Martinez in that recording also referred to the child as a monkey. The councilman in a statement called the comments vile and disgraceful and said that, quote, Martinez attacked her son with horrific racist slurs and talked about her desire to physically harm him.
We don't want to sign to no blacks. Right. Southsiders do want, guess, I don't want to speak on that, but we don't want to sign to no blacks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The Mexican gang, they already have their laws.
Yeah.
And you're going to follow their laws.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sleep in a cell with a black guy.
Really?
No, it's against the law.
A Mexican gang member cannot have a black cellie.
No. He has to go to the hole.
So he has to basically fight that guy.
They sabotage black and white people on jobs, get black and white people fired on jobs, and then you would see their cousins, their uncles, their brothers, their sisters, and everybody on the job got fired because they didn't try to get you out of there, and their whole family is there. And don't let one of them get to become a supervisor.
You know what? I'm gonna just sit this one out. For real, folks? Are you sure? Yeah, I am sure.
Black people, you know I love you, but some of y'all got a short memory. And so I'm here to remind you that black people will not be marching in this era. If you recall, black-led marches looked like this, and like this, and like this. Black-led marches were the most violent and have been the most violent forms of protest in America. White-led marches, the ones that are going on right now, look like this, and like this, and like this. The difference is you don't see any vitriol and violence from police, and you don't see any vitriol and violence from white extremist groups. And I can say this with certainty because I live in Chicago and I was out there too. They beat people. They chased people down, drug them through the street. They threw those smoke charges into the crowd. They had gas masks on. They sent people into our marches to throw bricks and cause riots and then blame it on us. Marching is over. Marching is literally the dumbest thing that we could do with our time right now. Instead, you need to be doing what I'm doing, and that's organizing the masses of black people so that we can work together to protect ourselves from this hate and vitriol that this country has decided they will never stop. Organizing the masses of black people, getting back in community with each other behind closed doors, coming up with solutions to rebuild our communities and protect our communities from this hate and vitriol. We do not need to be out in the streets wasting our time and energy so that they can put targets on our back, front, and forehead. And now they have a president that is 100% willing to let them go free after doing so. If you never listen to a word I say, black people, please do not fall for the bait. Do not go out there marching in these streets. Instead, get organized in your community. I hope y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. We got a lot of work to do, and none of it is going to go on in the street. I will not be a target for some pathetic little loser with a rifle. Instead, I'm going to spend my time and energy organizing the masses of black people. What are you going to do? Are you with me? Do you understand the assignment? I love you, black man. I love you, black woman. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
La única comunidad que nos va a sacar de este hueco se llaman los negros
100%.
americanos.
100%.
African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only one with the experience of civil matter. They are the only one que tenían el esclavo ahí mismitico. They are the only one that are not going to get deported anywhere, and you cannot put them all in jail. So African American community, which is the community that is stepped on by Cubans, the most are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American community that has not come out because it is not. I do. We didn't do shit for them.
I get it. But I don't.
Me and you support, but in masses, we didn't support anything that was going with them. Latinos look at Cubans specifically. I'm not gonna talk about any other community because I'm not part of that community, even though I'm a Latina with them. Cubans talk shit about African Americans.
It's true.
Cubans did not support African Americans. Cubans think that they all victimize themselves, of this, all of that. African Americans are the only ones that are going to save your asses, Latinos. So you better start kissing. If you're going to kiss some ass in this country, you better kiss some black ass.
Keep in mind, guys, this is my own personal thoughts and perspective on this. My thoughts and perspectives on this will eventually change over time, but for right now, this is how I'm feeling and thinking about this whole situation right now. Honestly, I do not like how ICE is handling the whole thing. I mean, they're going after kids in school now. They just got a kid from graduation, and I heard that they're like going to churches now, and the fact that they're holding people like with zip ties, like they put like the people that they arrested into like zip ties, man. Like, bro, like what happened to the traditional handcuffs? Like, what gives? And only that, there are like people who are pretending to be ICE. Believe it or not, you can easily like buy like an ICE uniform and like just walk around and say, "You're being deported. Come here. Yeah, you're just gonna get kicked out of the country, bro." There are people with freaking masks on, like kidnapping people, pretending to be ICE, man. And bro, if that does not scream like triple K, I don't know what will. I mean, what is, you know? And the fact, I mean, honestly though, it's not surprising that the Klan probably are like the one behind the whole, you know, like pretending to be ICE and like kidnapping people. Alright, now here's the number one question in the room. Why are black people not protesting? We have very good reason not to. We know the moment we protest, like let's say in large numbers, like I don't know, like the majority of the people that like protested the whole, like the No Kings protest, if we showed up in mass, bro, a whole blown war would have happened if we showed up. We could end up doing more harm than good. And only that, it mostly isn't our fight most of the time. It isn't. To be specific, when I said black people, I mean African Americans. FBA, ADOS, whatever term you want to use, the majority of us voted accordingly. We voted for Kamala in large numbers, even though we know damn well what would happen if Trump is elected president again. Because we know that something like this might happen. Well, not might. It's gonna happen the moment he gets in office again. And now, here we are. The country is being destroyed every freaking second I freaking speak right now. I can understand the argument that, like, the Latinos, they voted for Donald Trump. The Cubans, they voted for Donald Trump. They wanted him to be president again. Even though that's not the majority of the Latino community, we know that's not the case. Honestly, when I saw that, like, graph about, like, you know, like, which racial groups, like, voted for Trump the most, honestly, man, my brain automatically thought that, like, if there was a race war, we know whose side, the Latinos, specifically the Cubans, we know whose side they would be on mostly. They would be on the side of white supremacy. And here's a question, talking to my black brothers and sisters everywhere, and why should we get involved? Anyway, like why should we? Why should we team up with the people that's the most likely to stab our backs? Anyway, again, going back to the fact that it's not like all Latinos think this way, obviously not. But again, there are some Latinos that do think this way. And only that, like, in California in particular, like, the black community and the Latino community in that particular state, like, there's so much racial tension that has been, like, going on there for years. For example, there have been reports about, Latino gangs, like, you know, like, gang like Molotov cocktails and firebombing, like, a bunch of, like, black communities and black areas to, like, drive them out of their community and stuff. And then the fact that, like, throughout California, there have been, like, reports of, like, racial incidents happening between the black folks and the Latinos. In the second TikTok, she mentions why are they calling on the black people? Why are they not calling on their Afro-Latinos? I mean, there's black Latinos, there's black Cubans, black people from, like, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Colombia, Cuba. There's this phrase that's sometimes said in some Latino households, Mejora la raza, which means to better the race. In order to do that, you would need to, like, marry someone who has a lighter complexion, or straight up white, have kids with them. Colorism is very prevalent, and in those countries that I mentioned, they heavily favor people with a lighter complexion or straight up white man. True, the black community do have colorism, but it's not to like that level of extreme though. Like to the point where like in certain, if your skin was like very dark in let's say Cuba, and you're trying to like get like a decent job, you're not gonna get that decent job most of the time. You're not. Another proof of that, like if you like try to like search up like any like telenovela, there is rarely like anyone that's like darker than that in the show, or rarely if ever like a black person in that. Even if they were in the show, they're 9 times out of 10 a derogatory stereotype or something. I actually met like an Afro-Latino. She's from the Dominican Republic. And she pretty much told me, like, how, like, colorist that the DR is, and how badly, like, they treat people that are dark-skinned over those countries. If they don't treat, like, people with, like, any decency that have darker skin, nice or decently in their country, what makes you think they're gonna treat people that look like me, or any black person in this country, any nice either? From my personal experience, like, throughout my whole adult life right now, I never had, like, any negative interactions with any Latino ever. And I can't ignore the fact that like stuff like that even happens though. Honestly though, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it kind of, I don't know, somewhat is confusing. Why would you guys vote for a guy like Donald Trump who, like, I remember the first time, like, he was running for president, he been spewing a bunch of xenophobic nonsense, like, during the whole time, the first time, that he was, like, trying to, like, become president. And, like, before the even elections happened, he been spewing the whole, well, the Kung Flu virus, like, the whole COVID pandemic. And only that, was it the Haitians eating the dogs and eating the cats thing? Like, he's been, like, running on xenophobia, like, throughout the whole time he's been, like, you know, in the political sphere. There have been, like, some Latino content creators, like, over TikTok and YouTube, who's pretty much spilling out, like, this idea that, oh, after, like, Trump is done with Latinos, they're coming after the black people next. They haven't stopped coming after us ever since slavery ended. The reason why the term African American is even, like, in existence is because of slavery and everything that happened. African Americans are descendants of slaves that were brought to this country 400 years ago without no rights, no legal protection, no anything. The reason why, like, people that look like me, or, like, any Latino, Asian, Arab, Muslim, whatever, were able to come here and become, like, full-blown citizens, or have, like, birthright citizenship, that was because of the 14th Amendment. And from its origins, it originally was created to rectify, like, the legal precedent on, like, black people, like, being citizens here in this country. But over time, like, it started to become, like, more than just, like, black people just being citizens. It applied to anyone, regardless of race, nationality, whatever the case may be. If you're born here, you're a citizen, no answer, but nothing. If it hadn't been for the 14th Amendment, none of us would really be here right now. None of us. Even if, like, the government found a way to, like, get rid of, like, an amendment, like, specifically the 14th Amendment, please, where are they gonna send them black folks? Where are they gonna send African Americans from? You forgot. Africa is a whole continent with over 50-something countries. And African Americans don't belong to a very specific country. In order to be an immigrant, you have to come from a very specific country, whether through asylum, or just naturalization, whatever the case may be. So that argument is completely false and easily debunkable. I'll put the links to the facts down below. And all that, if you guys have not been, like, paying attention in the past couple months, there was, like, a rumor that, like, Trump is planning to, like, you know, like, pardon the guy who killed George Floyd, and trying to, like, get rid of, like, the Black Lives Matter, like, street sign, or street painting art, whatever it was. They're trying to get us to protest in mass numbers. They're trying to do that. So that way, the Trump administration and Trump literally have an excuse to, like, use martial law, and boom, everybody is in the pit. Everyone is about to die. Ergo, we could do more harm than good. Okay, the last one from TikTok, okay. I did look up who she was, and, her name is Angelina Castro. And, how can I put this? She was an ex-adult movie star, if you guys catch my drift. And now she has, like, a little podcast on YouTube now. Pretty much everything that she said in the fourth one was very spot on. They wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for Black Americans in the first place. The thing that kind of caught me off guard is, like, you know, we're the only ones who can save them, or, like, help them with the whole mass deportation or against, like that. There's one huge flaw with that logic. We're not the only people that, like, well, that this country could ever, like, send back anywhere. I mean, you do got the Puerto Ricans after all, so why not hit up them? Puerto Ricans do have citizenship in the States, and that's the only reason why they can't be sent back. And only that, Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States. You don't really need a passport to, like, go to Puerto Rico anywhere. I mean, as someone who went to Puerto Rico twice, like, Puerto Rico is amazing. It's beautiful. The special words are pretty nice and pretty flattery, but again, it's going to take a very long time for the black community to, like, be willing to protest en masse, especially given our current political climate right now. Just, look, we did what we needed to do. We voted accordingly, and we fought too long and too hard. We're just tired, man. We just need our sleep. In my honest opinion, the only way that my people, Black American, FBA, African American, whatever term, the only way I can see my people protesting en masse is if we're starting to see more and more Latinos, Asians, Indians, Arabs, okay, technically American Indians, they're kind of like out of this conversation here. They're innocent in this. Is if we see them, like, making TikToks, protesting, like, en masse for reparations. That's the only way how I can see that done. Or at least see that happening, like us protesting in large numbers again, is if that happens. Not just, like, protesting though, we're talking about, like, congressmen, like the people in power in the Latino community, Arab community, whatever community it is, that is, like, making, like, certain, like, trying to, like, you know, get reparations up in the air. I'm telling you, a large percentage of my community would definitely be down for that. But I know that's ideal, and I know it's pretty optimistic, but let's get real. That's never really gonna happen though. It's not gonna happen ever. The reason why I say that is because, yes, even though, yes, we're all people of color, white supremacy is our enemy, but let's get real. We all have different agendas, we all have different cultures and everything else. Yes, white supremacy hurts everybody that falls on, under, the whole POC umbrella, but let's be clear, let's be honest. We all, don't really, get along with each other all the time. And the fact that white supremacy attacks each individual group differently, treat individual groups differently. How can we be a unified group if we're, constantly, at each other's throats, or, constantly, not really, aligned with each other? We can't form an alliance based on, separate goals and separate values. And in case you guys, have not been, looking on TikTok, you see some black Americans going out there and still protesting. To my black brothers and sisters, if you guys want to protest, protest. It's your right, and you guys can do it if you want to. In conclusion, the reason why black Americans are tired of protesting, we're not protesting out there with the whole mass deportation thing, we're tired. We're tired of being used. We're tired of constantly being disrespected by other POCs. We're tired of that. It's time for us to look after ourselves. And I want to remind you guys again, this is just my own personal perspective on this, and my perspective will change as I get older. So if anyone get offended, our sincere apologies. For any black brothers and sisters watching this video right now, if you guys still want to help all the other POCs, the best thing we can do, spread awareness, get out of the way, and stay out of the way. That's the best thing the black community in this country right now could do to help. That's the only way we can help right now. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on DeviantArt. The links to everything is down below. And guys, if you want to get my content before it ever hits YouTube, the link is in the description, and also the facts and the information I use is in the description down below as well. Empty Boy, out.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you. We love you. All the way to the White House.
Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.